Hey guys, Coach Tom here Tom Danielson with CINCH Coaching, and I am attempting to make a video about what I do back here at CINCH. I've been really busy creating all this stuff and doing a lot of really cool stuff with different athletes, and I really haven't had time to come out and talk about with all you guys that aren't part of CINCH what we're doing back here, and so you feel more part of our community, even though we have a core group of people we work with. Our mission, our objectives with CINCH is really to help other people grow and experience the same things that we're working on here within our coaching group. So that's our mission of our business, is to change lots of people's lives, not just the people directly that we work with, but also people that are around. So on that note, I thought I'd share with you guys some stuff that I've been working on the back end here that a lot of our clients have been doing, and a lot of them will be doing soon. As you know, or you may not know, with CINCH, I believe, or my coaching methodology, I've created, I call FORM. And it's the FORM performance system. And within that performance system, I believe that there are four key pillars to peak personal performance. And those four pillars are focus, which is like mindset; fitness, which is strength and speed, endurance; execution, which is skills and strategy; and then nutrition, which is fueling. So, health and wellness from a fueling perspective, weight loss from a fueling perspective, instead of, just kind of doing it as you go along, right? So doing it to fuel certain things. But today I thought we'd focus on the focus component, which correlates to this time of year. Right now, a lot of you guys are probably dealing with motivation. It's the off season. For a lot of you that are listening and watching, you probably don't really have a professional career of cycling or racing or triathlon or whatever, and it's hard to even justify an off season right now if you don't have an on season, right? So you kind of have to throw away that concept of, hey, I'm not a pro athlete. You kind of have to look at yourself like, hey, I'm a high performance person. And a high performance person plans things, right? And organizes things and looks at things saying, okay, how am I using this to move forward? So October is a weird month because all of you are wondering, what am I doing? How am I moving forward? How does this relate? Do I need to be training hard? Do I need to be working hard? All these things, what is October for me? What is September for me? I don't have any races. I don't have any goals, all kinds of stuff. So for me, it comes down to what I call the vision. So the vision is within our focus system, our focus pillar. And for me, vision is made up of three things: purpose, perspective, and outcome. So think about what your purpose is. Like, why are you training, or why are you being healthy? What are you doing? What is the why behind that? Most people don't ask themselves that question. And when you do ask yourself, what the purpose is of what you're doing, all of a sudden things change, right? Because for me, I'm not a pro athlete anymore. I'm a coach. I'm a business owner. I'm a whatever, entrepreneur. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm all of these things, right? So, my purpose, you would think would change, right? You'd say, oh, well, you were a pro athlete before. Your purpose was, to make money or to win races or whatever. But guess what? My purpose is exactly the same, right? I ride to give myself confidence and to bring personal things out with my athletic ability, right? And ultimately that gives me, confidence in who I am. I like to be competitive. I like to feel strong. I like to feel focused. I like to feel determined. I like to feel, like I like to work hard. I like to be up against challenges, all these things. I like to overcome challenges. Cycling gives me that, right? Because, I've been doing it my whole life. I love it. It really, meets a lot of my needs. I like the technical components of it. I like the physical components of it. I like the mind components of it. Like all these things I love about cycling. It gives me this opportunity to say, I can be strong. I can overcome adversity. I can overcome these challenges, right? So for me, that's what cycling does for me. That's part of, my purpose with cycling is I want to feel these components of my personality out in physical ways, and that gives me confidence to do things like this, like make a video just holding my phone talking to you guys and hoping you listen, right? Like if I didn't have cycling, if I didn't feel good about myself from cycling, I would be terrified to like talk to you guys like on a phone, right? Because these guys think I'm ridiculous. Who is this guy? Why is he doing this? And you may still think that, but I really honestly don't care because I have the confidence from my daily process and training that I have something to say, that I believe in what I'm saying. I'm strong and I'm determined. And I think that's enough credibility to be able to say this stuff and feel good about it, right? So that's my purpose. You guys all probably have different purposes, but step one of that vision is your purpose, right? So this October is a good time for you guys to like take a step back and say, hey, what's my purpose? Why am I riding? Could be, I want to look good naked. It doesn't matter what it is, but just identify what it is, right? Okay. The second step is perspective. Who are you? What does your life look like? Like, what are the things that you're doing in your life? Perspective is key, right? Like, I'm a dad, right? I am a father. I am a husband. That is a big part of my life. So whereas before I was a pro athlete, right, and I was focused on winning races and traveling, the latter part of my career, I was a dad, but because of that job, right? Like a lot of my mindset during that, or a lot of my perspective was, hey, you're a pro athlete. Like this has the priority in your life, But when I take a step back and I say, like, I'm a dad, right? I'm a dad before I'm a pro athlete. I'm a dad before I'm a business owner. Like that's my true perspective, right? And when I was a pro athlete, I didn't really think like that. And I should have. But now that I'm an entrepreneur, right? Like I have time to reflect and I've been really open-minded. And I realized that my perspective, like that is the leading part of my perspective, that I am a father. And a big part of being a father is I'm a role model. I'm a leader. I'm an inspiration. So when I go and train on my bike, right, it is important that that is in perspective, that there are people watching me, that there are people listening to me. There are people seeing like my lifestyle, what I'm eating, when I'm sleeping, my motivation, my energy levels, all these things people are watching, especially my children. So it is important that I respect that and I have a badass daily process. If I want my kids to be badass and I want them to try hard in school and I want them to try hard in sports and I want them to be good people, then I need to be that person. And I need cycling for that, right? But that's why I use cycling, right? Is to show that part of my personality and to be a leader in front of my family, in front of my children. Also, being a dad means that my time is limited. So, my priority is my children. So, I get up early and I do work. I do my workouts. I be there. I'm present for my children from when they wake up, when they go to school, when they come back, when they're here in the house. I have to be present. That is my responsibility. That is in my perspective. So because of that, I don't have 4 or 5 hours to train. I don't have 2 hours to train. I have usually 1 hour, 1.5 hours to train. That's okay, right? Because I want to be the most badass dad, entrepreneur, whatever, husband that rides his bike in Longmont, Colorado. That is my perspective, right? So with that in line, right, and I put the vision in there, why I ride my bike, and then I put my perspective in, like what is the frame of me riding my bike or training, right? My picture starts to look a lot clearer. Now, what is my desired outcome of my training? What is that, right? Well, honestly, like I just want to progress. I want to get better each year. And I understand that I'm 40 years old. I understand that I've just started this entrepreneurship role. I understand that my kids are getting older. There's going to be a lot of things that I'm doing. I understand that I am a husband. Like, I just want progress. And I'm going to have to look for different ways to progress. It is not going to be, my Strava times up climbs. It is not going to be my sprint power, right? Like, that's just not what I want. That's not what's possible for me with my purpose and my perspective, right? So my outcome is I want to progress. So I'm looking at different things, right? I'm looking at different sides of myself on my bike. I'm looking at different avenues for me to progress. I'd like to do some different events. I want to be a leader within my business on my bike. I want to become better at the things that I preach within my business about cycling, right? Execution and these skills and these plays and all that stuff. I can still be a black belt on my bike. I can still be a total badass, but it doesn't have to be like what I used to do, right? It can be what I'm going to do now. So my outcome is completely different than it was before, but I am still focused and I still need progression. So I am changing the avenues of my progression, right? I am chasing this new growth of me as a cyclist on the bike. But in perspective with me being a dad, an entrepreneur, and a husband, right, and older, and with the purpose of, me becoming more confident and feeling more like myself and being able to express my personality physically. So this October, let's get on this, right? Like, let's move forward. Let's figure out what our purpose is, what our perspective is, what our outcome is, and make some progress towards that and not worry about not being motivated, right? That just means that you're not focused. So let's get focused on things that we have control over, and let's figure out, why are we doing this? In what perspective are we doing this in? And what are we chasing? And let's figure that out this October. So in November, when we're ready to rumble, right, everybody figures out it's time to train, it's time to get going, our mindset's on point, we're rock solid, and we are ready to go to the next level. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening to my little living room rant, and let me know what you think, if you think it's dumb or you think it's cool or whatever. And just trying to do like more real stuff that's happening inside my house, that's happening inside my business, what's happening inside my brain, and sharing it with you guys to hopefully help you, take your cycling and personal performance up to the next level. Thanks.